There is no way I could have factored inflation at 150%.
Yeah.
No way. And say I covered it in my cost. It's never possible. So what do? Do I go back to the consumer and say, hey, I sold for you 90 million. I'm sorry, it's no longer 90 million. Come and pay. I had contracts that they have signed. They will sue me, and all I'll do is chase court case. So inflation is making people break promises. Is making people cut corners. I'm supposed to go to a cement distributor and say, this is money for 20,000 bags of cement. I would pick it from you as at when the project needs it. So that is how it is supposed to work in a normal society. But we are not normal here, and times are not normal.
The most talked about real estate show in Africa is Live, the Real Talk with BRG. And you know that I'm always excited to be right here in your midst. I am Ria Abdul, and today we're talking about something that every Nigerian is seeing and living through. We cannot deny the fact that the prices of everything have gone high. So it's in every field, whether you do real estate, whether you do whatever you do, whether even you're a market woman, we are experiencing it. And today we're going to be talking about the rises in the price of the world of real estate. Are real estate people still selling? How are they coping? We get to talk about it right here on the show. But not to worry, I'm not doing this alone. Of course, Sarah Smiles is right here with me.
Thank you very much. It's such a great honor to co-host with you. And we're not also doing this show alone. We have amazing guests with us. We have Dr. Simeon Adozi with us, the CEO of Adozi Homes and Properties. And we have Mr. Deji Adeoye. Thank you very much for joining us on this show.
Thank you.
Hola, how you guys doing? First of all, I need to get you guys... We're not so serious. Nigeria, we are facing a lot in Nigeria, but we are still happy. We are surviving. But how's it going with you guys?
Well, it's good. The truth of the matter is we are Nigerians, and you know we're dogged.
Yeah.
We don't give up easily. Whatever situation we meet ourselves, we ensure that we fight through. We're into it.
You're into it. But Mr. Dozie, how are you coping? I know you're a big boy, I know, but how are you still coping with this recession? How are you doing?
First off, there's no big boy in recession.
I like the fact that you cleared that.
There is no big boy because everybody's feeling it one way or the other, you know. So starting from the prices of commodities like food and all that, then you go on to petroleum products like fuel, diesel, and you go on to now basic necessities of life, you know. Someone was telling me that he or she bought a bag of pure water for like 15 naira. And I was surprised to hear that because I used to think pure water is just 5 naira.
5 naira, yeah.
You know, so, and what used to sell for 5 naira is now 50 naira. And the worst is that the income of people have not actually increased. So there is a big gap. So, and we had... last year was an immigration thing. You know, the middle class had to move out of the country. So you have these people on this divide and these people on this divide. So a lot of people that are on the upper echelon before now, we are just trying to stay afloat. You know, because it's hard to be poor. It's hard.
And you know, the thing is that I say that for now, it's not just the poor. Even the rich are affected.
Everybody.
You know, everybody is going through it because the prices of things have gone so high. And in as much as I look at the fact that, oh, I can eat, I still have a car, I can drive and all, sometimes I just try to put myself in the shoes of the ones that take 50,000 salary, and that have families. How are they able to survive?
You don't want to imagine how many calls we receive per day.
Per day. Making demands.
Now the helper is even going to go broke trying to help.
We have to officially tell people that where you used to give, I'm sure the only thing I'm giving now is excuses. and advice. You know, so,
and I wish you well.
As like I offer you prayers. Man. The Lord will see you through because we are all praying to God to see us through.
But anyway, let's go into what we're talking about today. We also know that building materials have gone way higher. First of all, how are you guys doing it? How are you guys coping? Are you guys still making sales?
So first off, we are not miracle workers. So let's put that out there. And usually they'll tell you what you do in this case is to increase your price. But on the other hand, demand is not actually that elastic. So it means that people have a breaking point where they now say, okay, you know what? I don't want to buy property again. Just let me rent and stay in my own income strata or something like that, you know? So what do we do on the other hand? We are developers. We still want to deliver solutions. We still want to build and deliver every promise that we've made, especially us that operate in the off-plan sales model. It has a lot of implications. For example, I'll use mine as an example. So there's a project we introduced in December, and we had a price for it. As at the time I was giving that price, the price of a bag of cement was selling for 5,200, right? And the price of iron rod was selling for 520 or 510,000 per ton. Yeah, so goes a trip of sand, which was around 170 something or 150 something. So at the moment, right, I have put that price in the market. I have even sold on off plan. But now, time for me to go to site. Price of iron rod is 1.4 million. Price of a bag of cement is 12,000 naira.
12,000.
Wow.
There is no way I could have factored inflation at 150%. No way. And say I covered it in my cost. It's never possible. So what do? Do I go back to the consumer and say, hey, I sold for you 90 million. I'm sorry, it's no longer 90 million. Come and pay. I had contracts that they have signed. They will sue me, and all I'll do is chase court case. So inflation is making people break promises, is making people cut corners, is making people. So there's a house a friend of mine bought 2 years. He paid 2 years ago. The developer is about to deliver, and the developer is calling him to say, please, I can't fix the kitchen. Neither can I fix wardrobe.
Yeah.
Sort it out yourself, or I refund your money.
Informed.
And I'm sure you have something to say
Yes.
about that as well.
We knew we were going to have challenges, but we never knew the extent.
It was going to be this bad.
Exactly. So there's always a provision. Our provision may not be able to cater for whatever we're having now, but like you said, we don't have a choice. Again, some other developers, not us, might decide to cut corners, try to reduce this or that.
Substandard
No, we won't do
materials.
that. We'd rather close the sales, hold on a bit, see how we can. But again, what we always do most times is we buy these things in ahead of time, so we don't wait. We do off-plan project, so we don't wait for clients or whoever that is doing payment plan. Some can have 12-month payment plan, 18-month payment plan. We don't wait for them to pay up before we get all these materials. We get these materials in advance. So in a little way, we've been able to fight the inflation. So to us, it might not really affect us that much. I'm not saying it's not going to affect us, but maybe not as much
Because
as.
it's like you saw the future.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'll tell you one thing, right? We're providing a solution. There's no mortgage system in Nigeria.
Yeah.
We at best are providing a form of mortgage system in Nigeria. This is how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be that I start a project, I get off takers, I go to the bank with the name and
project.
project and all that and the details of my off takers and say, bank, can you give me this money to go build?
Yeah.
Right? So bank is supposed to give me that bulk money, right, on a certain percentage, right? And they are supposed to tell me, and I'll go to a building material person to say, I need 100 tons of iron for this project. So this is the money for 100 tons of iron. I'll tell you where that doesn't work here because I've tried that. It didn't work. So I'm supposed to go to a cement distributor and say, this is money for 20,000 bags of cement. I would pick it from you as at when the project needs it. So that is how it is supposed to work in a normal society. But we are not normal here, and times are not normal.
But the thing is that what is the way forward? What's the future? What's the future of real estate in Nigeria? Because a lot of people that were in it now are now saying that, oh, it's getting hard, they want to pull out. So what is the future of real estate in Nigeria with all this happening? Because we have no idea when it's going to be better. We can only hope that it will get better, but we do not know. But for you guys are like OGs in the real estate world.
Yeah.
So, like we always say, it's too late for us to back out.
Yeah.
We're into the business. There's this word we use among ourselves. We are here, and no, we're not going anywhere. Things are going to change. It's definitely going to change. I launched a project in Ibadan not quite long. I bought my cement for 10,500 per bags. I'm buying another batch now. I was asked to pay 9,800. So things are beginning to shape
Are
itself.
you going to reduce your price?
I was just going to come to that. He has to actually.
The thing is, you don't. The reason why many people says whatever goes up in Nigeria don't come down. I agree with them, and I want to disagree with them. You don't just flow with whatever is happening because it destabilizes you.
Yeah.
So you need to hold on a bit, try to observe things, look at the trend before you can do anything. For me, I never increased my price because I knew something is going to change.
Oh, you never did?
I never did.
That's good.
I knew something is going to change. What the only thing I did in some of my projects was to just close them, hold on a bit, let's see the trend. Let's see how it goes. If it's going to favor any of us, we're going to sit down together. I won't just come to you and tell you need to add. In my document, there's always a variation clause. I have it from day one. There's a variation clause. If there's any issue that I cannot control, which is not artificial, natural, we need to sit down and talk. We're both helping ourselves. So this relationship has to be a symbiotic thing, just like I said earlier. The buyer, the seller, the middleman, it has to be a win-win for us. So I don't just increase price because dollar is 2,000. So my deal is going to be, my house that I'm selling for 60 million is going to be 120 million. No, you need to watch the trend, see how it goes. If I get to that level and I can't breathe again, then I'll need to shout, I can't breathe. Come and help me,
But what are the factors that caused inflation in Nigeria? Why?
Yeah, that laugh is to tell you that there's a lot of things that could cause inflation. But I'll tell you what they say cause inflation in the building material sector. There are two factors, and it just boils down to one. The dollar. So I'll tell you how the dollar causes it. So the dollar, if the price of the dollar increases, diesel is in the deregulated market, which means I have to go source for a dollar to buy diesel. Right? Government doesn't subsidize it. There's no government intervention. So every marketer, major marketer that would import diesel, because we don't produce it here, would have to source dollar to go get it. So meaning at every point in time, whatever the dollar is what will be used to calculate per liter of what diesel cost. Now, what that means is that we are a production economy. So you go to the people that dredge sand, right? They are using diesel to power the dredging machine that will pump sand out before the payloader, which also uses diesel, will pick it up and load it in a truck, which also uses diesel. So that process is going to be, price is going to increase based on the diesel cost. And they'll tell you that between your location to your location, there are a lot of local government levies or monile levies, township, city levies, road levy, See, a lot of things is causing it, and it's multiple taxation, increase in dollar and all that. That's one. Secondly, for a commodity like tiles, strictly, is Nigerian. If you are buying the Nigerian tiles, the factories are powered by diesel. Now, let's go to, same thing applies to granite. Let's go to iron rods. Powered by diesel. Let's go to which other one? Cement. The trucks from the factories that is powered by diesel is loaded on the truck that uses diesel. So everything, once the dollar coughs, it just go like that in the value chain.
So it's not really like
It's,
now it's depreciating.
it's not no. It's just your buying power is reducing every time the dollar is increasing. So that's the cause of inflation. Now that's one. Secondly, let's talk about it in the financial terms. Money market. CBN would actually increase cost of borrowing by
As interest rate.
the MPR will just
22%.
increase over 22%, which means
That's the benchmark.
cost of borrowing is when banks reviewed every cost of borrowing, it will be around 28 to 30%. Yeah, so imagine me, right? Because I'm offering something that looks like a mortgage, I'll take an initial deposit from you, right? I will use my money to build. Now, how I source that money would actually be maybe I borrowed it. Even if I didn't borrow it and it's my money, I have a right to put an interest on it. So the minimum interest I'm going to put on it would be 30%. I'll tell you what that means. That means if I borrow 1 billion naira to do a project, right, I am supposed to pay 1.3 billion naira back.
Wow.
Right? In a 12 months period. I have to find a way. That product would never be the same because that 1 billion in my hand is actually 1.3 billion. So there is no way inflation will keep going up. The price of water, pure water going up is because of the diesel that is used to power the factories and the trucks that use diesel to distribute these waters. So everything is we are now praying for the cost of fuel not to join it. Once it joins, this thing we are talking about, forget about it.
But let's talk about the government. What role are they playing in all of this happening?
So
I actually think the government are trying.
Are you sure? Or you are scared of it? Talk through.
No. I'm just being sincere.
How are they trying?
Okay.
Okay. So the thing is, if there's going to be a change, it's a process. Change doesn't just happen, boom. It's a process. A lot of things when you say inflation...
But they remove fuel subsidy once.
No, so when you say inflation, what is inflation? Inflation is caused because there's too much money in circulation. That is why we have inflation. Now, to the layman, to the man on the street, it tells you, where is it too much money? There's not too much money. We are just liquidity. We are just explaining what is happening. So all this they are trying to do, a lot of persons, there's a lot of problem. There's a lot of problem that was caused before this administration. I'm not trying to support or something, but I'm just trying to let you understand why we're in this problem.
People have to go through this kind of hardship for it to get better. That's the question. People are dying.
To be sincere, I think this period, let me use the biblical word, this period shall pass. It's a process that we need to go through. It's a process that we need
you want to say something?
Yes.
Does he want to drop something in?
No, it's a process that we need to go through.
This is me. I mean, Nigerian bottling company. No. Nigerian breweries recorded loss. How can a beer company, for the first time in history, record a loss? MTN, they're telling you they're recording a loss based on shareholders' fund. A lot of companies
are leaving.
I'm sure. I wouldn't want us to be. I wouldn't want us to be one-sided. I'm sure you must have heard in the news that even UK has gone
through recession.
Yeah. So it's a general problem. Now Nigeria is facing its own because we've always been a consuming nation. We've always been a consuming country. There's nothing we're doing. There's no production. Nothing. Nobody is producing anything. I travel a lot. Go to places outside Lagos State. You will see that those that used to do farming are no longer doing farming. Now we're waiting for rice to come from the north. We're waiting for tomato to come from the north. We're waiting for this to come from the north. Now, when the North says, no, we're not giving you again, one of the governors said it just of recent that they won't allow any truck to leave their state. Now imagine what is going to happen. So it's a general problem. I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm trying to be careful so that people won't say this and that. No, we're not talking about what we're looking at. How is affecting real estate. So I think we should just streamline it to real estate and not broaden it, because if you have to go that route, we'll see that it affects everybody, not just Nigeria. Everybody.
Okay.
China is going through the same recession. China, almighty China, they are going through the same problem.
So I think for me, the government is actually doing their best. But I don't think a government can save.
They can't.
When it comes to issues like this, it's not just the government, it's everybody that is involved, right? It's not just the government, it's us, the businessmen, not prioritizing our profit over putting exorbitant cost on what we know that it's not worth it. Like I said to my friend, when the price of bag of cement reduced, did you reduce your price, right? And so he said he has not even increased his price. Yeah, because every one of us factors inflation at a particular level.
There's always
in
a
our
provision
pricing.
for it.
Yeah,
There's always a provision.
so it is not just that because iron rod moved 1 basic point or 2 basic point, I will now move my price 3 basic
Yeah,
point.
but it's so. I'm happy that you are saying that, but a lot of real estate people did that,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you are aware of that.
So why they did that? Because the inflation, like I said, nobody could have factored 150. It was 150%. It wasn't just 100%. It was 150%. Now imagine me that I couldn't have factored in 150%. If not, I wouldn't be competitive in that area. So imagine where everybody was selling 100 million naira for house, and I'm telling you my own is 180 million. Nobody would buy. I would not be competitive. But because everybody have factored inflation at a certain, max 40%.
I had a conversation with someone, and the person was like, why is everybody increasing price? Why is this happening? Why are you not increasing your own price while everybody is doing that? Then I said, majority of developers that are doing that now, probably they started this project a while ago, and we do payment plan. So like you said, if we have a mortgage company
System.
or bank mortgage system that assists, it would have been it will favor us, and it will favor because we do off plan. But majority of them spread so thin. You have a project, you have like 7 projects you're running at a time. And I can tell you categorically that this project won't give you the inflow. The inflow will never be the same. One is going to be more than the other. So the one that has the highest is the one that will suffer the loss, because you have to then begin to spread the inflow on other ones. So if you have done that and you have a client already, off-takers already that have paid deposit,
And you've given them a delivery time.
you would definitely get into problem. But if I'm buying cement, if my cost of production is saying 30% increment, I'll come back to you because I've not received any money from you. I can tell you that my project now is 50% increment. So it's easier for me to flow with it. But if I had collected money from you, have an issue before the problem, and the problem comes, it will be very difficult for me. But like I said, there is, we have our own our carcass. There's a way we run our things, and people look at us and like, how you guys doing it? How are you doing it? We sit ourselves down, we tell ourselves the truth. If you are doing a project, there must be a provision. After doing all your costing, your estimation and everything, there should be a provision. Now, if you are going to have a problem with that provision, probably there is going to be a change that will affect your provision. It might not be that much. You can't jump into a project without doing your proper costing. You will definitely get into problem. You will.
So is there any situation with regards to construction now as a developer, right, where you already have a plan, especially the architectural plan, and then some materials there are way expensive? Are there innovative measures you can put to it to ensure that it's not substandard, at the same time you're changing the flow?
Yeah, there's always a way out of that. And it has to do a lot with the the core values of your business and what you believe, right? Well, like you mentioned, in our car course is street, so simple. It's better you take a loss, right,
Yeah.
and regain in another project than you spoil your brand. Your brand is your name, is your identity. You cannot mess up with it. So we hold ourselves accountable for that, and we've been able to keep our brands and our friendship and all that going because we know that there's one rule. You know what? Don't do it substandard. Take a loss, but you regain it. It's better to have a good name than to make a lot of profit and be riding in a G-Wagon on Lekki Epe and you are not safe, because you've delivered and you have a lot of court case, a lot of people reporting your project and all that. Mind you, you can do this one project, take out all the profits and not be able to sell another project because it was substandard. So keep the standard maximum, keep it straight. Promise, every promise you've made, make sure you deliver on them, right? Tomorrow is for posterity's sake. So, but there are other alternatives. We are also exploring other alternatives for construction, right? Well, we're discussing how we can do warehousing, right? Come together, buy massive piece of real estate, how we can take it straight from the company, put it in our warehouse. He has his project, I have my project. We go to the warehouse, we have where to go to, and we're coming together to do all that. These are measures that we are working towards to be able to ensure that if we put a price at 40 million, 1 year later, it's at 40 million. Although it has its own downside, because people that bought from you at 40 million would have expected that there will be an increase in their, because of the value, capital gain of the real estate. But actually, the actual truth is that price of materials will keep increasing, but we will do our due diligence, do what we need to do to make sure that we ensure quality and standard. We're exploiting a whole lot of other technologies.
I heard a story about a man that wanted to build. He's a developer, and then he built very good foundation, but then the materials he used in finishing it was a substandard one, and then many other developers feel like, I mean, I can do this. So far, the foundation is good. So coming in from this angle, it just balances everything.
So they are trying to rewrite the Bible that says, if the foundation is destroyed, or if the foundation is standing, the unrighteous can still.
What would you say are the long-term, implications of unchecked inflation?
Yeah, so it's everywhere.
Run us out of business.
The history of places like Venezuela, maybe Zimbabwe, and all that, where you have to, go with large amount of money before you get a piece of bread. It's what it is. But there's one thing about real estate. People will still live in houses. And so real estate never goes out of fashion. In short, the most expensive commodities in these countries are their piece of real estate. Because, see, even in war-torn zones, people still live there. They still lay claims to land, houses and all that. So real estate is on its own level. It's the only investment that everybody takes profit from all other investment and invest it in that same investment. And because that's the only guaranteed source of investment.
To also buttress what he has said, if it's not checked, it will definitely run a lot of persons out of business. And that's why the Real Estate Association were trying to liaise with the government to see how we can, manage this inflation. And I'm sure, like I said, it's a process. It is definitely going to have a positive impact very soon, and everybody's going to be happy about it. I have a Lebanese friend that was telling me that, why are your people leaving your country? There's a lot in this country, and I because they can see from outside. We can go to other country and say we want to invest there because we can see that there is potential. There's potential in Nigeria. Forget about the fact that we're going through this now. A lot of things is going to change. The government is working. I just pray, and I want everybody to pray for them.
I love how optimistic he is.
I'm serious. I'm serious. I just pray that they have the grace to follow through. If they can follow through with this process they are going through, a lot of things will change for good.
But to you, what would you like to say to a young person that wants to get into the world of real estate with all this happening, with all the inflation, the back and forth and all, as an OG in the business, what would you like to say to a young person trying to get into the business with what is currently happening now?
This is the best time to get into real estate because, I mean, all the facts and figures are staring you in the face. You are looking at it, you're coming on a time where, or in a time where you know that this is the price of what it is, or this is what is currently happening, except you are not smart enough to do your market research. And no entrepreneur should enter a business without first doing a good market research and knowing how they want to get their returns back. So this is the best time to be a real estate developer. But make sure you get your figures right, get your numbers right, get your market right, get your network right, get your distribution right, and get your marketing right.
And get your mentorship
And let me get
right.
from you as well before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're coming into the real estate business now, you need to sit down, be well strategic, get everything you have said well, and also get your mentorship well, because you need someone to pull you
to
through.
actually
You can't do it alone. Success is not just about yourself. It's about having people that will pull you up. And you need people that are real, people that have actually experienced it, not just people, not motivational speakers. I'm serious. You need people that have experienced it. Let them tell you.
You don't want to aspire to pass.
I'm
serious. Even God is not. God don't create emergency superstar. It takes them through a process. So we're going through that process. If you can enjoy it, Nigeria is going to be better for everybody.
How can stakeholders collaborate with you developers?
Very
quickly.
We're doing that already.
We are open for collaboration. In short, we are like APIs. Come and plug in.
Don't save your money in the bank now. It's not going to favor you. I'm serious. You need to invest in assets. Asset acquisition is what you need now, because whatever you use your money to buy now, keep it. Don't sell it. When the time comes, you sell it. Whatever the prevailing price is at that time, you sell it and you make it.
And right now, banks are borrowing. So go to your bank. Go borrow money. Buy a piece of real estate.
How can stakeholders collaborate with you developers?
I mean, real estate is a big value chain, and we are open for every form of collaboration. And starting from, like I said before, we are like APIs, willing to connect with everyone. We have our network. We want to change the face of real estate, and collaboration is the key, is the way to go.
That's amazing.
This is the best time to collaborate. It's the best time to partner with us. Our strategies, we won't give it out there. But if you really want to collaborate, you can come meet us.
Someone said this during campaign.
Our next president.
I'm going to be the next president of this country.
Nigeria.
So I'm so optimistic.
Sir, the moment you walked in, I saw the grace of God in you. And God told me that you will win. God told me that you will win. and you will give me job. But anyway, it's been amazing having the both of you. I just love how, you spoke about how resilient, you are with business. And I love your passion for the government. And that says that when you're president, you do really well. I have a lot of faith in you. But anyway, guys, it's been amazing. Thank you for staying with us. We love you so much. Don't forget to keep watching, keep sharing, and keep putting up your comments. We're back again next week with another exciting conversation. I am Ria Abdul, and I'll see you next week.
Bye.